We're a little more efficient that way. That's the fun one. Every time I gotta stop. This one. Sit around on.
I've been meaning to.
Yes. Plenty of time.
Six o'clock, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That may be roll call, please.
Councilmembers Robinson,
Here.
Hudson,
Here.
Gilbauer,
Here.
Bauer,
Here.
Mayor Feldman.
Here. Thank you. Okay, we have a motion tonight to adopt tonight's agenda. A motion.
I'll make that motion.
Councilor Newell makes a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
Councilor Berger makes a second. Seeing that we're all here today, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, moving on tonight to the next consent agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt tonight's consent agenda?
Make that motion, Mayor.
Councilor Robinson makes that motion. Do I have a second? I'll second. Councilor Bauer makes a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving on to, let's see, special business, swearing in of elected officials, I believe. Before going to meet open public, I guess.
Honorable Mayor, members of the council, I can do the swearing in. Who would like to go first? All right, ladies first. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Sarah Ogden,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and to discharge faithfully
and to discharge faithfully
the duties of the office of council member
the duties of the office of council member
of the city of St. Francis, Minnesota,
of the city of St. Francis, Minnesota,
to the best of your judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, council member.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, would you please raise your right hand? I state your name.
I, Stephen Feldman,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and to faithfully discharge
and to faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of mayor
duties and to the office of duties of mayor
of the city of St. Francis, Minnesota,
of the city of St. Francis, Minnesota,
to the best of your judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability,
So help you God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. And Councilmember Robinson, please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Kevin Robinson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States,
to support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and to discharge faithfully
discharge faithfully
the duties of the office of council member
the duties of the office of council member
for the city of St. Francis, Minnesota,
to the city of St. Francis, Minnesota,
to the best of your judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, council member.
Thank you. I wanted to say it's been a wonderful 6 years with staff and everybody in the city, and now it's on to the next term. For the 2 years of going this direction, I'm looking forward to the success we've had continue the next 2 years with thank you, staff. Everybody else, all the council. I think we've got a good formula working. Want to keep it going. Let's continue working as of right now. I remember the first time we took over at 17, and we took our oaths and that distance between that and audience up here. And all of a sudden I get this camera going, what do I do now? Well, we've got a little more experience, so I think we can continue on a good track. So let's do that. All right, moving on to meet up with the public. Anybody have, Okay. So moving on to new business. comprehensive sanitary sewer and water system plan. That's Paul, or Craig, okay, good.
This item includes the engineering services for the preparation of a comprehensive sanitary sewer and water system plan. This project is broken into two separate tasks. The first task consists of analyzing the Highway 47 urban service area. The city has recently received a preliminary plat application for Bluffs of Rum River development. It is proposed that the trunk sewer and water will be extended through the proposed development, and it will be necessary to determine the trunk oversizing and extra depth required to serve the future urban service district that adjoins the proposed plat. The review of this area is also important with the pending Trunk Highway 47 improvements. Most of the sewer and water facilities in the Trunk Highway corridor are from the original 1973 sewer and water improvement project. It is very likely that some of these facilities will need to be upgraded as development continues north to Ambassador Boulevard or north of Ambassador Boulevard. The second task consists of analyzing the Rum River Boulevard's urban service area. Due to the Rum River wild and scenic zoning requirements, it is uncertain if future development will occur to the north of the Rum River's edge developments. This project would evaluate the urban service district to determine the necessary trunk sanitary sewer and water system improvements for the urban development to the east. In summary, we are requesting council's approval for engineering services for the preparation of a comprehensive sanitary sewer and water system plan. And furthermore, whether the study should include both the Trunk Highway and the Rum River Boulevard service areas.
Okay, well, I don't see any other way to do this because we have piping systems back 50 years old now. The key to the expansion of St. Francis, of course, is the use of area going north and west. But we'd be negligent if we connect a new system to an old system that's 50 years old. Because all we end up doing is going back and have to fix that or repair that to continue. So I think it's prudent to do the study to see where we lay, where our piping infrastructure lays, especially going forward with the Bluffs of Rum River, and again, expansion of new usage to the north and to the west. So I'm very much for this. Pretty much the age of piping shows that we should take this direction. We have always been proactive in the city, not reactive. If we don't do it, we'll be reactive and it will cost us more and delay the projects going forward. That would just be not the way we do business here. So, Joe, your comments on this?
I'm just curious if we have a start date for the state's sewer project.
So Mayor and Council, as of right now, they are reviewing our timeline. Originally, it was 2025. We're hoping they push us out to 2027 for our ability to get grants.
I think it's important that we do this for the fact that I think we have to be ready for what's coming when they do 47. We have to know what kind of budget we need to look for when that comes. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Kevin?
I have no questions or concerns. I think it's prudent to do it now, and it's cheaper for us to do it now. We'll have maybe find some few secrets along the way that we square away before 47 actually does come to fruition. So I'm good.
Rob?
I agree, that we need to get this done to kind of see what's under 47 before, like you said, it gets too far down the road and we're scrambling to find funds. So if it's something that comes up, then we need to start looking at, we can do that a couple of years in advance.
Sarah?
I have nothing to add. I agree. All the sentiments, we just need to do it. So I know what we're getting into.
Well, like I said before, I mean, our philosophy is being proactive and not reactive. I think this is just prudent, smart to do. Again, our city, our expansion of our city lies with MUSA, and this is the key or the start point of it. So, what do you need from us right now? Motion to adopt this?
Mr. Mayor, the appropriate motion would be motion and second to approve engineering services proposal for the preparation of a comprehensive sanitary sewer and water system plan, including tasks 1 and 2.
I like how they do this.
I'll make that one.
Councilor Hook makes that motion. I have a second.
I'll second.
Councilor Hook makes a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Dave. Good start to it, good too. All right, moving on to, release RFP for construction manager.
Mayor and council, tonight before you is the RFP for a construction manager for the building we've been discussing in regards to a new City Hall Fire Station facility. Purpose of doing this early would ensure a few things, including working with our budget and quality assurance, some advisement from this individual on product selections, some project familiarity with this person as we finish our final designs, the coordination of the overall project. This individual would also help us early in the stages to look at any lead times, help us design in our bidding schedule, and then also, again, the coordination of project familiarity. As it seems early to be doing this in February for a project in that won't go out to bid in July, this person would have the ability to kind of keep us up to date on if there's major product changes that would require us to redesign something. If there are large lead times, we know there's a couple systems within the building that are at least 12 months out. So this person would advise us on that and help us walk through that process. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Kate. I want to clarify this as I did the building committee meeting. Is it really a construction manager risk or construction manager modified? That's what we were told by Brian. So my question, because I want to make sure that staff and council understands that the construction manager, the authority of the changes or anything in the construction of the building come from us through Brian on the project. The owner of the project is the city of St. Francis. And because of what I ran into with the building at the Union, that maybe Weber more in control of it than us, we cannot allow that to happen on this project. This is our project. Changes will come from us through Brian to the construction manager. You'll be doing scheduling and everything else that Kate mentioned, but it's a construction manager modified. The authority lies with the city through the architect and on to him. Okay, I just want to make sure we all understand that, because once again, we learn from our mistakes. Like I said before, I've only asked anything of anybody, do the best you can. If you have a mistake, you learn from it, so you don't repeat it. You made mistakes at the beginning, we have learned from them, and we will not repeat them in this big project. That's my take on that. Sarah, anything you have to comment on?
No, I agree. I think that the sooner we get them on board, the sooner we can help manage things and keep things in line and keep us updated as we go along. So I think it's a good move.
Right, Rob?
I also agree that it's a good move to move forward with experts in that field, so. I'm for it.
Okay, thank you. Joe?
I don't have an issue at all with the construction manager portion of it. I think it would be good for us to move forward and look at things that I would have missed here moving forward. I'm just curious, the funding from this would come from the bond though, right?
So Mayor and Council, it comes out of all of our pieces we're putting together.
Like all-
So if you take, the bond, our cash assets, our cash funds, it's all going to come out of there through timing. If we have the ability to reimburse with any of the bond, that would be something we definitely could look at. But yeah, we're gonna have to do piecing all of that together.
Kevin?
Also, Mayor, also going this route where the city would benefit from the savings of any components and or money saving materials by having an agent such as this in play, rather than general contractor reaping the savings and.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That was brought up in the building committee.
Yeah.
Very good.
No, I'm all for it. I think it's a prudent way to go, and I appreciate the help that Keith's given us, and the architect has been very helpful as well, so I'm all for it.
And I just want to add to all that, that the building committee has been excellent. The team that we have together on it, asking the right questions, doing the right due diligence. That's big as far as getting as we went through the process of getting the architects touring their facilities. But one thing I want to put out to the public and all that, we will know more when we get to the hard numbers of the bid process. July and August, we'll know where we stand in as far as going forward this project, or delaying it, or what we need to do as far as the numbers itself. Right now, we have proposed numbers. We don't have any hard numbers. That will come in July and August, and at that time, the building committee will come forward to us and bring us information, and we'll make decisions at that time. Just want to make sure everybody understands that. This is a process. It's a long process before we see shovels in the ground. But this is such an important facility, fire station wise and city hall wise, where we need to take the time to do it right. This building will be around a long time. It's the last real big building the city will ever do. We'll start a trend on First Street for construction and retail building on First Street, but more importantly, it will house a real fire department today that we have, with a real fire station. The volume of calls that it's getting in the direction it's going, the volume increase that will happen as we grow. And also with the city hall, after 6 times leasing buildings and in a building that doesn't, we've outgrown already, to continue that building would be a big mistake. We have to end up using the community room for our needs every day on a daily basis. We've come to the end of the time to use that field for the usage of that building in a positive way. It's time now to plan ahead for the next years to come, and I think we're positioning ourselves right. But we will do this prudently, smart, and look at the numbers and see where it all lies. We learn from them, as I said earlier, we make mistakes, we'll learn from them so we don't repeat them. The one mistake we learned from, as Joe well knows, God knows, Sarah, when we first started Kenwood at the time, but knows now about the wastewater treatment facility. Things were jumped forward too fast, not looked into with the proper due diligence. We are not going to allow that to happen this time around. So I hope the public understands that. We will be as forthcoming as possible when we know what we need to know, so we need to know. But as far as complaints in the past, like you need to know is no matter when we put it out, we're always going to get some kind of complaint about something. We will put the numbers out when we understand the numbers and want to be another minute before. So on that, I think I need some direction and motion here. Do you want to read that one too?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it would be a motion and second to approve a release of the RFP for a construction manager of the new city facility as presented.
All right, I'll make that motion. Second, I need.
I'll second.
Councilor Hood brings a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. On record for the first motion for the first term. Anyways, moving on to the farmers market proposal. Colette.
Mayor and Council, before you tonight is a high-level proposal for a farmer's market for this coming summer, or summer 2023, stationed in Community Park. And what staff is looking for from council this evening is a general feedback that you have on the proposal as outlined in direction on if you would like staff to continue pursuing this option for this coming summer, or put it on pause, or just stop pursuing this in general. So I will walk through a few sort of high-level elements of the proposal now. So the first thing I wanted to start off with is reading the mission statement that I drafted for the farmers market, because I think it presents sort of the vision for the market as the St. Francis Farmers Market serves as a community gathering place for customers to purchase locally grown and crafted products that support a healthy and sustainable local economy. The market strives to build and strengthen community connections and support local entrepreneurs. So some of the elements in this mission statement that you'll see throughout the proposal are some elements of the farmers market being one for community gathering, not just for the purchase of goods and products, too, of making it sort of an event and a space where people can go and community can gather. And I think that's part of why I've proposed it also being located within the park, too, of it being a place where people can linger, people can spend some extra time with their family and friends being close to the park as well. Currently, I am proposing it being hosted on Wednesday. I think that timing frames out the best with when other markets are being hosted around this area generally. Weekend markets, we would be in tough competition for the larger markets down in the metro. And so it was more looking at weekdays and then when other markets are happening on the weekdays. The location, as I said, considering the parking lot of Community Park, part of the reason for this location is for it to be highly accessible from Highway 47. Some of the most successful farmers markets are seen as ones that are most visible from the community most often. And this Highway 47 is our main thoroughfare to increase that visibility. The vendors being stationed, envisioning a mix of craft vendors as well as food and produce vendors. One question that staff is still considering is the community organization tables, if we would allow them, what that would look like, what sort of parameters would be put in place around that, and how we can make that a fair distribution. The largest unknown at this time is the coordination of the market in terms of staff and volunteers. So staff is proposing that we would advertise for a volunteer committee to help assemble the market and put it together in the city newsletters and also on our Facebook and social media pages, with the hope that we would have some people that would be able to help with tear down or set up and tear down, and host a just general welcome to the market table at the market as well. Potentially some activities there too, perhaps depending on how many people we get or what kind of interest. But this sort of question of time and if people would be interested or not flexes a lot on how much of a budgetary concern staff time would be for this as well. I am anticipating that staff will potentially have some additional time to work on a project like this over this summer, depending on how development applications are coming in. But as we are sort of anticipating development slowing a little bit this year, then this could be a good year to try and kick off. By the way, of insurance, staff is still investigating if the market would be covered under the city's insurance. If not, there are many other very affordable options for that. Budgetary implications. I put together some estimates in terms of materials and registration costs and what that would look like for expenses on the order of $2,500. A good amount of that would come back through vendor registration fees, and I'm anticipating that around 1,000 or so of those dollars would come from the economic development budget within the community development department. So the immediate next steps for if council were to be interested in staff continuing to pursue this option would be to register the market on the Minnesota Farmers Market Association website in Minnesota Grown. This is the time of year that vendors are starting to plan for their coming season, so we need to take relatively quick action in that. And staff would also start putting together a article for the newsletter and recruiting for volunteers for volunteers. Open to any questions or feedback you may have.
Well, thank you, Colette. I am very much aware of this, by the way. If you recall, remember that gentleman that owned that acreage that going south out of city on 47 on the west side, where he wants to put corn there, cultivate corn there, so he sold the land with Dollar General there he was going. That was great for a farmer's market. I think a farmer's market is great. We have farmers out here to show their goods, crafts. It's a great thing there. I think it's a really good community type of thing that really shows our city and have people participate in a good way, especially in a small town. I think it's excellent. I know my mom, when I was a kid, would go to the farmer's market in Minneapolis, buy tomatoes, and for she'd pickle potatoes, she'd pickle vegetables, and cucumbers and all that. It was something that was a tradition every year that we would do that. That farmer's market is fantastic. So I'm very much for this. I think I'm glad you came up with the idea and pursuing all that. But I'm on board. So Kevin, your suggestions?
I'm really excited about it. Good job, Colette, and anyone else who participated in putting this together. I think it's awesome. Maybe the car show's been a success here for many years on the Friday night deal. I mean, it draws a lot of people in. And just a little, the door prices and whatnot. But again, it brings people in. The area businesses are getting benefit of the commerce as well. So maybe we keep the entrance fee for the first year reasonable or really tight, so we get people to come and try it out as well, and you can always bump it up a little bit next year. But maybe the vendors could actually donate some of their time or be part of the setup and tear down as well in exchange for maybe a reduction in their own entry fee. So they're taking a part in there because if they want it to look nice in the beginning and clean up in the end, they want to come back and then do it all over again. Maybe they can actually be a part of it and then benefit by some reduction. But no, I think it's a fantastic idea, and like the mayor said, it'll draw people together. I like the 3 to 7 p.m. because it allows the working folk to come as well. And again, the Central Park's always been kind of the draw in town. But no, I think it's a great idea.
Sarah?
I agree. I think this is an excellent idea. We've talked about it in years past about the possibility, and seeing it actually happen is pretty exciting, I think. I think we can make this work, with minimal, hopefully minimal staff time, I think. You know, most of the vendors are pretty used to when they go to someone, they set their stuff up and tear it down, so that, you know, and obviously signage is gonna be important for a little while to let people know and just, you know, as soon as we really have any solid information, you know, let's start talking, let's start letting them know. And yeah, I think, like you said, now people are starting to decide where they're gonna be for the summer, so I think it's important that we get it out there sooner than later so that we can get those people. Because it's a good location. It is a good location. We have traffic that travels through and, you know, it's very convenient to just stop there and grab some fresh produce and whatever on the home. So I'm really excited about it,
There's nothing better than fresh produce. Summer tomatoes,
especially when you get to do the work.
Show your comments.
Yeah, I like the idea of it too. I think, weighing our cost to benefit ratio is important, and the only way to do that is to try it and see how it goes. I know we've had inquiries from residents as well in the past. I wouldn't say a ton. I just hope we have a better ratio of, people that wanted chickens to the people that got chickens. Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I agree, it's a great idea. I'd like staff to reach out to the chamber, see if, they have some ideas on trying to get involved a little bit with this. I'm all on board with it. My only concern would be Pioneer Days weekend, when the park starts to get set up for, I think it starts on Thursday, so they may not need that Wednesday night for that particular Pioneer Days event. That's the only concern I have but I like the fact of it being on Wednesday, and I've heard some vendors tell me that if we were gonna do something, make sure you're not competing with local ones that are already preset, because their vendors will go there. So we'll see what it looks like for the first year, and hopefully we can get some sustainability over the years. So looks great. Thank you very much.
I did want to add to, I do second Kevin's idea as far as maybe a reduction in their fees if they volunteer to do that, at least for the first year. See how it goes.
We can build on that.
Right.
Once we see what the interest is, and be fair as we always have been. But I think if you get, like I say, local farmers, sell their goods right there, crafts, I like the crafts part a lot. I know my wife's friends do stuff like that, they go to their cities and sell product and that, so, we're growing up, we're going the right direction. This is something I think is really important for the city. I like this. So, do I have a motion for the proposal date? Let you read it all. I'll let you read all three of them.
Certainly. The motion and second to approve the farmers market proposal and direct staff to continue developing the program.
All right, do I have a motion? I'll make that motion. That makes a motion, Alvaro makes a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Good job, Glenn. Keep it up. Okay. All right, meeting open public. I see we don't have anyone here. Okay, so we'll move on to reports. Dave.
Mayor and council, for your review is the fire department monthly report for the month of December. Our response times continue to track in the right direction with this. We shaved 7 seconds off from the previous year, down to 9 minutes, 40 seconds. If you recall, late summer, we had a couple months where we're below run volumes from the previous year. Unfortunately, in December, we caught back up, and we're seeing that trend continue back into January as well. Just a moment to acknowledge we're very busy over Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, which are probably our hardest to staff days of the entire year. I think we did 10 calls between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. All the calls were answered with a very good level of attendance. So a huge thank you to the firefighters that were available that day. That makes a huge difference to be available on those types of hard to staff days. Our firefighters per response is creeping back up a little bit at 5.6. We did have 1 return from military duty, and we had 1 return from injury. So right now we still have 1 on long-term military duty. So we're getting a little bit closer to full staff as we transition into 2023.
Our fire and EMS run distribution was almost exactly the same as the previous year. We did increase our EMS responses by one from year to year. And our various usage was pretty high. Our acuity was up in December. So typically when the acuity of calls are up, you see those variances start to creep up as well. And we did flag 3 ambulance response times over 20. So we continue to see that maintain at kind of those 3s and 4s, which is down from where it was in the summer. And for fire inspections, we continue to see good compliance with our fire inspections, where we had 3 initial inspections with no re-inspections necessary for the month of December. And lastly, a huge thank you to public works staff and police, especially these last couple of weeks. The snow has been incredible. The roads have been maintained very well. Both police and fire have been very busy and have been working well together. So just a good shout out to those departments as well. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Good report, Dave. I always notice this, of course, with the EMS versus fire. And looking from December 19 to 22, you can see the influx of EMS services over fire over the years. So I'm glad the fires are down, but it just shows you, as I've stated many times, the direction of fire stations throughout the country are becoming more EMS capable. And you have to go with the times now. In the world of Steve Feldman, I'd like to see someday where it's full-time fire people and full-time ambulance in every city. But that's in the world according to me. It'll take quite a while, I'm sure, to get there. But in the meantime, keep up the good work, Dave. Your staff's doing excellent. And I think that, and I'm glad to see reduction of COVID and all that. I'm hoping people take this seriously because it's still out there until we get rid of this thing. Take it seriously, better be safe than sorry. So that's my comment on that. Joe, your comments?
Good report as usual, Dave. I was just curious, I guess, on the Christmas call, do you recall or have any idea, not that kind of spot, what the nature of the call was?
There wasn't anything overly significant, but typically we start to see some of those, I would say, lower level medicals. A lot of stomach pain, we had a lot of illness kind of going around. That was during the influenza time. I'd have to go back and look, but it wasn't of anything significant, but it was good.
Thank you.
Rob?
Great report. I want to thank all the firefighters. Just looking at that time between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, really warms the heart that they don't do it for the money. They do it for their community and to serve, and I really respect that. So tell them thank you.
Absolutely.
Sarah?
What a great report. Yeah, constantly, I tell our firefighters how much we appreciate them. And, it's been nice to see some positivity, people posting on Facebook about their positive experience with the fire department and how they came and they helped and they were, supportive of the family as well as, taking excellent care of the patient. So that's always a positive. Yeah, we just appreciate all they do. We know that going out in the cold, on the holiday, not once, not twice, 3 times, gets to be a lot. So please just let them know how much we do. And you enjoy as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Kevin?
Well, Dave, a little disappointed the report was just okay at the time. No, we gotta keep you in check there. No, very good report. Thanks to everyone who served. I've been privy enough to be part of the some of the meetings as of late, and again, the open house that we had. You guys do an awesome job. I can see a lot of pride in the work that they do. So I'm very keep up the good work. Thank you.
All right, moving on to council member reports. Kevin, we'll start with you.
I attended a building meeting last Thursday to talk about, again, costs and picking a project manager, et cetera. Good group, it's always informative. Also attended a meeting with a neighboring community talking about joining forces with our fire department. More information to be forthcoming on that. But again, neighbors helping neighbors, where borders shouldn't really matter at all. When people are in trouble, we need to respond. So, and the fact that communities can recognize when they don't have trouble, but they have a need. Nobody's in trouble, but they have needs. And when you work together to help meet those needs, that's what it's all about. So, other than that, I'm honored and privileged to serve another 4 years and looking forward to it.
Thank you, Sarah.
I'll echo Kevin's sentiments. thank you for the reelection. I'm working another 4 years. A lot of talk about fire hydrants. If you are able, I know there are people who can't, if you are able, please just take the few minutes it takes to clear out that fire hydrant. We know it's not your job, you know, it's not designated to anybody per se. And there are plenty who aren't able to, but if you see a fire hydrant and you have a few minutes, hey, jump out and clean it off. Much appreciated, whether it's you who needs it in the future or your neighbor or somebody you don't even know. Just, it helps a lot. And then I also just want to mention that on January 27th at 6 p.m., the Chamber of Commerce is having their casino night. It is their big fundraiser, helps with Pioneer Days. So I encourage people to get their tickets. They're available online as well as the door. So I encourage people to attend.
And where is it?
It's at the Refuge Club.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Rob?
Well, Sarah took my thunder on the fire hydrants, so I really don't have anything to report. I want to congratulate Sarah and Kevin on getting reelected.
Thank you.
Look forward to working.
What about me?
Oh, yeah.
You
You have to run.
You've
done well, and it's a testament of the work we're putting in, to run unemployment, so, thanks for the hard work, guys.
Thank you, Joe.
Well, I'm happy to spend some time home, been able to be home for an extended period of time this time, so I'm thankful for that. As far as sidewalks and fire hydrants and all that stuff, I believe if it's in your yard, it's supposed to be your responsibility. So if you do have one in your yard, you can take care of it as well. Just like mailboxes and all that fun stuff. Our city staff will get parks and those things too. So, you know, and they'll get to it when they can. We've had a tremendous amount of snow this year, as compared to previous years. So keep that in mind. You know, and I'd like to take a minute too, just to appreciate all staff from top to bottom, bottom to top, you know, for a great year. I think too, I've said it before, I feel like, and I don't know, you know, what percentage it actually is, but I feel like they're the ones that make the wheels turn. You know, maybe 95% of the work we show up and, you know, make a few decisions here and there, but just to show appreciation for everybody, and all departments, so, and our third parties as well.
Yeah, I would like to say, as far as going on about the fire hydrants, you know, plowing is on a priority basis. So the priority first is roads. That's the number one thing. Get the roads opened up. They work down from there, whether it be parks and sidewalks, and then down the fire hydrants. We are completely aware as a city the need of the fire hydrants being accessible. As fire knows that, police knows that, public works knows that. But there's, you know, in this heavy winter, as we're running out of space for snows, if you look around after a big snowfall, what do you see in areas of other cities in the statewide? They go around and move snow farther over to make room for the next snowfall. Because in this year, by the way, what we don't have like Colorado is our snow doesn't melt. It tends to stay here like till May, I mean, like whatever. But also, we're getting more frequent snowstorms. And on that, that means it's a buildup of snow on top of snow. Public Works has done a great job. I want to commend them on it. I want to thank council for having the foresight back in 17 to get them the right vehicles and machinery to do the job. As you recall, we came in with a Florida plow truck that got stuck many times. I had to plow the roads twice. It was more of a hindrance than a help. We put in the 2 beasts, the Western Star in the back that are good in 2039. They were front and loader and upgrade and a retrofit that we did with Reader. We've given them the right, and the toolkits and the bobcats and all that. We've given them the right equipment, but it's the operators that make the difference. And so I want to hand out really a bunch of kudos to Public Works and to all our staff in general. It is a real honor for me as your mayor here going to a 4th term to have nurtured a staff like we have. That's a team-oriented staff that we start from day one, works together. You can ask any one of our staff to do anything at any time, and the only answer you're going to go is, we're there. We're just there. They always say yes. They're always there. They care about their job. They love their job, and they love the state they work for. And we're there for you. I'm not saying that council hasn't made mistakes in the past, but we've always been fair, firm, and square, and we'll correct our mistakes as we see fit. Joe Coleman told me something a long time ago, and I said this before, that But it's your job to give us the information, and then it's up to us to decide what to do with that information. So we have our job to do to understand it, ask questions. I myself have all the expertise of our city administrator, and Mary, she knows more than I do, of our public works director, and Mary, she knows more than I do. Same with all of our staff members and department heads. But at the end of the day, doesn't mean I'm not going to ask you questions to know more about, so I can make an informative vote myself. I am just one vote, but I want to say to you, it's an honor and a privilege to be the mayor of the city and head of the staff that we have here. To nurture a staff like this, have a team like this, is exceptional. Experience, foresight, just the due diligence that they do every day, checking in things, and I can't say enough about our staff in general. Really a privilege and an honor. So looking forward to the next 2 years and beyond that. I hope my health will allow me to do that. But as long as it will, as long as I want to be mayor of the city, because I think the city is a wonderful city. Made a lot of good improvements to it. We have much more work to do. So I want to thank you once again. And once again, on the fire hydrants, please people understand, we're not trying to avoid doing fire hydrants. And like Councilmember Mueller said, and Rob and Sarah and Kevin, all that, if you can help us out, it's just like mailboxes. If you can help clear the way, help clear the way. We all have to work together to get that, especially when it's a hard winter like this. I would prefer having winter over already, but we're going to have to wait this one out. So in the meantime, work with us. As I stated before, I'm going to start this again on my fourth term. The mayor's handbook, residents working with staff, working with council for a better city. I think that trend is happening. I think they're starting to trust us. If you have concerns, we've just proven ourselves in a work session that we did over property taxes. We worked the problem, and we worked it the best we could. And we're going forward and kept our eye on the bigger ball. And we're not afraid to run for anything. And once again, where something may not come out as quickly information-wise as you want to know about, we don't put out information until we know exactly what we're talking about. Because if we do, you know, putting our foot in our mouth, and I know I don't need any help to do that myself. So on that, I will just say, once again, Happy New Year to everybody. Healthy and happy New Year. Health is a big thing to me. And I want to thank you all for your support in my everyday struggle with the issues I have. You're a second family to me, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I really do. It's hard for me to ask for help, but knowing that I have people that are willing to give me the help means a lot to me. So thank you, and thank you. Okay. On that, it's nice to get out of here early for a change. Nice way to start the fourth term. Any business we have to take care of other than this?
No further business.
Okay, then on that, I'm going to turn this meeting on Tuesday, January 17th at 6:41.
I'm not trying to recycle this week.
When is this tomorrow? Soundly, the whole thing? Oh.
You gotta keep in mind, so. Originally they were saying.
Middle name. I always catch up with my wife. I see you're done.
I know. Yeah, and then the latest,
Oh, yeah, laundry.